Okay, we're good. All right, just first off, really proud of our team, coming off the bye week, to be able to come out and, to go get the win, doing the things that, that we needed to do to win that game. And, we won it handily, but there's times, and just like I told the team, you sit there and there were so many opportunities throughout that game to really, put it away earlier and, to play our best. And I thought there was a lot of great performance. I thought Jordan Travis played maybe as good of a game as he's played, since he's been here. His control, you see the work, you see the, I said it during the week of practice, he was almost angry in how he prepared. And it was impressive to see him carry that over. I mean, threw for almost 400 yards, had great command, control, had some missed opportunities that were left out there. I thought defensively in the first half was phenomenal. I mean, the only thing we gave up, we had a turnover, gave up a short field. They were able to make a stop, but then there were things that showed up throughout the game. Offensively, like I said, had some drop balls, way too many penalties just as a football team. That's something that we've got to make sure that we maintain our control, our composure in all things, and executing to the level that I know we're capable of. And for us to be able to go and win that game and still not play our best, I mean, this is one of those times where there's something I'm really unhappy about that I saw today. But I'm definitely glad that we got the win, and really proud of our guys. We're able to play a lot of different players. Get some great experience and do the things necessary. There at the end. And so. Thought it was a good day. Proud of our guys. I appreciate the work. I appreciate their response and just the way that they compete on a day in, day out basis. And we're going to continue to get better. But you do see the growth. You see the steps. And we just got to continue to make sure that we're cleaning up some of those little things.
All right, first question will be Ira to your right.
As you said, you guys had at least one or maybe a couple of games this year where you've had an opportunity to put teams away and it didn't do it. It came back to haunt you. When they did cut it to 21-10, and you guys pulled away, what do you think was different in that experience?
No, I mean it was a really good opportunity for us to respond, and sometimes you need those things to show up, and that's. You sit there and you look at it. It was a couple of uncharacteristic plays of we gave up the surprise onside and we felt like we were pretty confident that that was going to happen at some point, and a teachable moment for a young player. And those are things that then they go down and they're able to score a touchdown on their opening drive. And I was proud of the response that we had, and the way we were able to overcome the negativity, the negative plays or the negativity that showed up throughout the course of the game, and be able to respond to go and finish. And that shows growth. It shows the buy-in and the investment in the work allows you to overcome in those situations. And we've been through a lot, and this is still a relatively young team, and with a lot of guys that are getting that firsthand experience throughout this season. So it's good to see them respond and go out there and do what was necessary to win the game going away.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You mentioned that Jordan practiced almost kind of angry. I guess what went into this week of practice for him, and what was that chip on his shoulder or whatnot?
Jordan's played really well this year, and but there's been plays or there's been moments where maybe he didn't, where he wanted those plays back and he wanted the opportunity to go out there and just be better. And so, he's worked at an elite level throughout this season. But when you continue to stack those good days upon each other, and then even though there have been some times that maybe he didn't have the best play or things didn't work out the way that he wanted, but when you continue to make that investment, then you see that constant growth, and that's what he's done. And he was ready and he was prepared to go out there and play at a high level today. And like I said, there was we put a lot on Jordan, and it's a fun offense to play quarterback in, but it's also a challenging offense because of the things that we ask him to do and the things that. He does in the run game, the things he does in with protections in the passing game. But you see a confident quarterback out there taking snaps, and it's because of the work, it's because of his investment, and I loved the way he played today.
Early on, you guys did have some miscues, obviously a couple fumbles, but also that red zone trip where you had to call timeouts and then end up turning it over. You think guys were rusty at all after the bye, or do you think guys were trying to do too much?
I think, and that's what we talked about at halftime, especially offensively, is that, guys trying to do too much. So we had some young guys that eyes weren't where they needed to be, weren't getting the signals, and I mean that's just, those are the frustrating moments that you come up because guys get in there and they want to do well, but they just got to take a deep breath and go execute what they see. And so we had a couple timeouts that we had to use, and but ultimately it was. The mistakes that showed up early, I thought we responded well offensively there to be able to overcome that, and I thought we played a much better brand of football offensively there in the second half. We did a good job of that was our halftime message: just take a deep breath, go out there and don't try to do too much. Just trust your coaching, trust your training, trust the things that you've done in practice all week, and they did that, and I thought played really well.
Yeah, Coach, defense allowed 24 yards on 24 plays in the first half, 8 tackles for loss. Just talk about that, how important that was to start off the game for the defense that way.
It was huge, and I thought the defense played at a really high level. I love the plan that Coach Fuller came in with, the way the guys attacked. Were able to make a lot of impactful plays there early. It was that's what you want to see, and really the only points we gave up, was after the fumble where they didn't get a first down and still were able to hold them at a field goal. But I like seeing that potential from our defense. Like I said, in the second half, there's a few things that showed up that we got to clean up and continue to get better at. But I know those guys will do it. And but all in all, I thought they did a really nice job.
Coach, obviously you got Fabian Lovett back today. I'm sure you probably had him on a little bit of a pitch count, but what did you see from him today, and how much does he impact that defensive line?
I mean, he's an incredible impact for our team, for our defensive line, for everybody. He's just his size, the ability, the physicality. I mean, it's definitely felt. And I thought that having those guys up front, did a great job of stopping the running game. Forcing them to be more one-dimensional, allowed us to kind of tee off there in some situations. And just Fabian, for who he is, the way he works, the way he shows up and impacts his football team, whether he was playing today or last handful of weeks where he wasn't available, he was always there making investments. And there's a joy to see him out there making plays, and did a really good job for us. So I'm glad to have him back. And he was limited today, but as each week goes by, be able to gain more and more.
I know you said that C.J. Campbell was ahead of schedule, this far ahead of schedule. Maybe we didn't expect. How cool was that to see?
I mean, it's remarkable. And, I know, and I'm sorry, I announced him as being out for the year at the beginning of, at the end of fall camp. And that's what we thought. And, I don't know if I've seen a rehab and just a belief that's gone better than what his did. And you saw the reaction when he scored the touchdown. And that this team, I mean, he is a special, special young man, and I loved every second of seeing the celebration and just his joy at practice. Which, I mean, you guys that are out there, I mean, you feel it and it's contagious, and I mean that's what I love about that running back room is that is a group that really pours into each other. They believe in each other. They even through adversity. I mean, it was an emotional. It was an emotional time when CJ got hurt because of just what all he does, and he was very limited today as well. But it was good to be able to see him get in there at the end and make the have that touchdown, have some really good runs. You saw Rodney Hill, young running back, had some great runs. And Rodney's continuing to build in that confidence, and but I'm excited about what I see, and and the relationships was what makes this team special. And this group really does care about each other. They care about who they play for and how they represent Florida State, and we're going to continue to push and get better with all that we do. And these guys, they embrace that work.
You talked about the turnover that set up GT's first score. I know that's been a few incidents of turnovers in the goal line or on the goal line this season. I guess, how do you kind of evaluate when call maybe the trick plays, the jet sweeps, the wildcat, things like that on the goal line? And how do you evaluate your goal line play as a whole?
Man, I don't call those trick plays, though. I mean, it's not ultimately a speed sweep. It's just something that That was a productive play on the one before. We've been in Wildcat before many times and scored a lot of touchdowns and had good plays. And ultimately, we had a running back. Started leaving a little early. Snap was a little bit, just a little bit off. It's a combination, and we can't have those things. And it goes to the big picture approach of guys trying to do too much rather than just staying true to what it needs to be. And ultimately we've got to be better, and we can't make those mistakes, those critical moments. And that has cost us at times, but it's also been successful for us.
Stay in the middle, go one row back.
Mike, I think there was a part of the game where you guys converted 8 straight third downs. Just, I guess, offensively, what are maybe the common themes when you guys are really firing on all cylinders versus maybe when you guys struggle to finish drives and stuff like that?
Well, I think you saw it today. And you go through the self-scout, and it's still held true today. We get down if we don't have the self-inflicted, penalty, drop pass, obviously turning the ball over. If we can stay away from that, our guys, they build confidence throughout it, and we were able to put ourselves in good situations. We were able to have good balance. I think we ran the ball well. And really today, some of that, the passing game opened up some more seams for the running game. They're late, and so. That's part of the game, but we want to be balanced, and we've got great playmakers. Really proud of the offensive line, and that's a defense that you look over the last 3 weeks and throughout the course of the season. they've done a good job, and I thought our guys really approached the work at a high level, and they were able to come out and do what was necessary to get the win.
Go over to Corey on the right.
Mike, how big was it after a month to just those players to feel a win again, to be in a happy locker room again, to break a rock? What does that mean for this team moving forward? What can it mean?
No, it's big, and it's we've had a challenging stretch, and I'm not talking about you look at 3 games that you lose. I'm talking about 7 games we played, and we've played a really good schedule. We've had good good competitive opportunities. Some's gone well. Some we've come up short because of a variety of different reasons. But you play to go and to experience that success. And just like I told our guys, I'm so proud of them to see them do what was necessary, and it's great to feel the energy and the excitement. But also like the fact that they understand what standard we're pushing for, and they know that we didn't play our best game, and I can coach them hard even in that moment where you're excited about the success that was just had, but we all have to answer the fact, but was that our best? And what now we need to take the steps moving forward. This week that's ahead is huge for us. It's huge for our program. It's a game that you come to Florida State to come and play in, and but for us to go and play the best that we can there, we still have to clean a lot of these things up. And our guys embrace that, and really proud of them. It was great energy in the locker room, but also a sense of expectation of where we need to get better. And I respect this team for that.
All right, we got time for 2 more. We'll go to the top right corner.
Hey, Coach, on a lot of plays, Georgia Tech, right before the snap, often would shift their defensive front one way or the other. What were they trying to accomplish doing that, and how did you fight that as the game went on?
They're multiple defense, and they shift and move, and they did a good job of we expected that to show up, and we had a few communication things that happened, and but ultimately they're trying to keep a disguise of what they're doing with their front, keeping our linemen to play a little bit more hesitant. They've done a good job. They've done a good job throughout the season with it. I thought our guys handled it well for the most part. Yeah, we had some issues that showed up that we have to get corrected, but you got to give credit on the things that they do, and for us to continue to get better.
All right, last one will be Ira on your right.
Last 2.
It's gonna be a 2 for 1. The Ira special.
The buzzer. Going back to Lawrence Tofili after he had the fumbles, did you guys intentionally want to get the ball back in his hands, or is that just where the play was? And what does it say about him to come back and have that play? And then the other question was
Write that one down, please.
getting the young guys in the game, just getting that opportunity for a lot of those young guys, Rodney Hill particularly, and some of the other linemen. If you'll indulge me.
That's really a third question, if I will. So yes, I will. Yes. Now I just got to think back to what the first question was. No, yeah, I know. I was just, yeah, thanks. LT was, I love that young man. And, you see his growth as a player and, very disappointed. He was very disappointed, in turning the ball over. He's run for such tough, and you just saw at the very end, as he's going down, that elbow separated, and, something that we harp on a lot. And, man, he was as pissed as anybody, in the stadium that happened. But you show your identity by how you respond. And immediately getting back in there and making a huge play, that's right when he's come off sideline. That's how you respond, man. That's what it's about. Being able to elevate yourself, even in times of disappointment. Don't get stuck on the last play and let it affect the next one. And I thought that was that speaks volumes to who he is, and really, speaks volumes to this team, because that's what they push towards. And every day is not going to go just exactly how you want it to. Just like every game, I've never seen a perfect game. And when guys can overcome the negative and go make a special play, it's really great to see. For the young guys, I think it's big. That experience. There's nothing like getting out on the field and having to go out there and execute. Against quality people and the different looks that we were facing, and I thought that was big, and I was really proud of that young offensive line group there at the end. That was for those guys to get in there. You saw the Jalen Early, Julian Almela, a lot of those guys up front that that maybe haven't got as many reps. Bryson. I'll miss somebody, but just going through it, it was impressive to see them go out there and establish a drive. And I know it was late in the game, but we wanted to see him finish. And that's when those guys took the opportunity, seized the opportunity, and it was an impressive drive there at the end, and great opportunities for all those guys. And Rodney, I know I mentioned earlier, but excited about those continued steps. And there's still some areas that he knows that he's growing in, and but he's putting forth great work, and he's a part of a great room that's there helping him, and excited about what his future holds. All right, thank you guys. Any more, Ira?